Hello everyone, and welcome to the conclusion of the first litter of the Inferno Pack, which is the pack led by Blaze and Misty. Of course, Blaze is one of our Elements pack puppies. He was from the second litter, and he has that +2 strength, -1 stamina, -1 health, and neutral speed. He is our good worried boy, and his mate Misty is Junction Butte 3F formerly. She has that matching little flopped over ear too. It's so cute. She has 1 stamina but -1 health, so definitely that's definitely a contrast. I mean, probably see a lot of lowered health for the pups, but stamina is pretty different and less strength than Blaze has. As for the pups, we have Theseus here, who has that 1 strength, -2 stamina. Goodness, that's even worse off than Blaze, actually, which is surprising because I thought that that might equalize out. And 1 speed, so he's a little bit of a quicker wolf, and he does have neutral health, which is also surprising because these two both have -1, so I guess maybe their genes are just a little bit different. They've got some recessive things hiding there. We also have Kindle, who has 1 strength and -1 stamina, but neutral speed and health. We have Flare, who has 2 strength, 1 stamina, -1 speed, and -2 health. Ooh, she's got quite the interesting stat spread there. Very, very dramatic. And also Vulcan, who has 1 strength, 1 speed, but -1 stamina, and -1 health. Unfortunately, this litter didn't come without its cost, though. We did lose Burn, our firstborn pup, who had 0 strength, 0 health, but -1 stamina and +1 speed. The poor little guy just did not end up surviving his illness, and especially when Blaze was trying to stay with him, things just kept going wrong. We had some serious chaos involving that strange mimic wolf that was first following Blaze around and now seems to be impersonating Misty. We really don't know what's going on with that, but boy, it doesn't seem like it's good. And unfortunately that did contribute because Blaze was not able to stay with Burn as much as he was hoping to, and although we don't know if that would have made a difference, in the end Burn did end up not making it. But the other 4 did survive, and we're going to go ahead and age them up now. It also looks like we didn't end up having a runt, which is kind of what I expected. But we're going to age these guys up. We'll make them into adult playable wolves, and you'll have the chance to see them all as adults and then vote on which one you want to be the litter heir to possibly carry on Blaze's legacy when his story comes to an end. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. And here we are, starting off with Theseus. Also, as always with these things, if you guys want a quick reference of these wolves and their coats, their stats, some info about them, details on what happened to them in the litter, just as a quick reference, there will be a spreadsheet for that in the video description. But this is Theseus, and look at, he got those really stunning gray eyes that really match his coat. This coat, by the way, is the 21M coat from the Founders. It's a very, very pretty coat. It's got that nice gray and white, but it is a genetic black coat, and all of Blaze's pups are going to be genetic black because he had 2 black coat genes, and Misty, presumably, thanks to being rated as 4-star diversity, has 2 gray coat genes as well. So we have black coat, gray coat, 1 from each parent. Closer up of his eyes here too, they are really, really pretty. None of the eye customizations though, but we will go ahead and we'll listen to his howls. Ooh, that's a pretty one. It's a pretty deep one. And then for his secondary, ooh, that is a much higher one and a pretty drawn out one as well. So he's got quite the range. Now, these customizations can generate randomly now, but as always, if you are a supporter of the channel, either on Patreon or if you're in the Discord from being a channel member or a Twitch sub or a member of the Patreon, you'll have the chance to suggest traits for our wolves that might make it into their final stories. There you can see, I don't promise that I'll add everyone, but I try to incorporate as many as I can. So if you think something happened, he got a torn ear, or he has a little bit of a mange tail, you can suggest that, give a little bit of story to go with it, and you might see it become part of his story. but it doesn't look like he got any of these. Oh, slight bit of a bent left ear though, which you actually kind of can see. It's just a little bit asymmetrical there. I don't think any of the others though, it doesn't look like. No. And then as for these customizations, these are all looking pretty normal, I think. Yes, it looks like that's the only one that he got, but just a slightly different ear there, which is kind of fun flavor after his parents. He took a lot after his mom in looks, actually. He got kind of those very pale gray, pale gray coat. Of course, we did see his stats earlier, too, and Theseus was the one who got sick at the end of the litter and then did recover like right before its conclusion, so he's a pretty fortunate pup. We were a little bit worried about him there. But that is Theseus. Next up we have Kindle. And ooh, look at this coat. Which one is this? Is this an NPC coat? I don't actually recognize it. I think it is. I think this must be one of the new ones because I've never seen it before. It kind of reminds me of Luna, but it's got a lot more browns in it. I don't know if that's the one it's based off of or not, but it's really, really pretty. Look at that. She also got these really striking eyes too. Very much reminiscent of her name, of course. Kind of fits the theme of the pack too, like embers glistening amongst the coals. I really like that. But let's listen to her howls as well. Ooh, that's the same one I think that Theseus had for his first one too. It's a very pretty howl, a bit of a deeper one. And then for her secondary, once again, a much higher one. Also, just like, look at the brindling on this coat. It looks almost brindled. Like, I've never seen this before. I'm gonna go on and on. And she has stockings too. Like, I'm sorry, I'm trying not to fangirl too much over the new coats. As for these traits, of course, they do now have the chance to generate, but as I mentioned before, if you are a supporter of the channel on Patreon, channel memberships, or Twitch subs, you have the chance to suggest possible ideas for what customizations she could have picked up at the time from when she was a pup to when she became an adult. But I don't think anything generated here, doesn't look like it. And as for these, they all look fairly normal. Yes, I think those are all pretty neutral, so no customizations that she started out with. As for her stats, we did see those earlier, but here we are again. And of course, she was a bit of a wild child. She was the one who ran out in the middle of a stranger wolf attack and tried to help, much to Blaze's anxiety. She also got sick on the way to the rendezvous site, or rather shortly before, and that was a little bit of a dramatic moment as well, as we were hoping she would make it as we were trying to make our journey. So she had kind of an exciting story there. A lot of things happened. But again, absolutely gorgeous new coat. My gosh, I'm gonna, anytime I see the new coats, I'm gonna be like big looking at them, because I haven't seen a lot of the new NPC coats just yet. But that is Kindle. Next up we have Flare. And is this the same NPC coat? I think it is. I think it's just a different tint, I'm pretty sure. Again, a genetic black coat, as all of them will be. Still an absolutely stunning coat, and I think I might see a hint of customization there. We will see. But she got more of these kind of yellowy eyes than Kindle had more of the kind of golden, or not golden, but more coppery, orangey kind of colored ones. Still very, very pretty though for Flare here. They stand out quite strikingly, and I think her coat is a slight bit lighter than Kindle's, although it is still a black coat, and I think the same NPC coat. It's definitely an NPC coat because it's not listed here. Let's go ahead and listen to her howls though. Ooh, that's a higher pitched one. And then for her secondary, also a pretty high pitched one. So she's got a bit of a higher voice there. As for her customizations, I don't know if she got any randomly generated here, but if you have ideas of what happened to her between the time she was a pup to the time she became an adult, you can submit those if you are a supporter of the channel on Patreon, channel memberships here on YouTube, or Twitch subs. But I think none of these I'm seeing. However, yes, she does have a crooked tail. You can see how it kind of curves outward more than usual. So I don't know how that happened. Maybe she got bitten by something in her young adulthood and her tail's a little crooked now. Maybe it's just a genetic thing. But that's something that's a little bit unique that she seems to have rolled. As for her stats here, you can see those again. She got a pretty dramatic spread there, a little bit more so than our other wolves. And of course, for her story and for all the others, if you want to see more info about them and have a quick reference to what happened during the litter, you can see that on the spreadsheet in the video description as well. But that is Flare. And finally, last but not least, we have Vulcan. And Vulcan has the half black coat, as you can see here. It's got that reddish tint from Blaze. Again, a genetic black coat, as all of them will be. He's got those really striking kind of golden orange eyes as well. We'll also listen to his howls here. Ooh, I think I see a little customization too, perhaps. Ooh, that's a really deep, really dramatic one. And then for his secondary, another much higher one. Quite a few of these pups had quite a bit of range. And of course, if you are a supporter of the channel on Patreon or channel memberships or Twitch subs, you'll have the chance to submit possible customization ideas for these wolves. If you think something happened to them between the time they were a pup and the time they became an adult, you can submit your idea and a little bit of a story and have a chance to have it used in some of these characters. But I think, it's not torn. I definitely think I see, oh, it's inner. Yes, he's got a little bit of a torn inner ear on his left there. So you can see that. And then for his body customizations, doesn't look like any of these. No, I think the ear is the only one. And of course, we did see his stats earlier, but here they are again. So that's the surviving puppies from the first litter here. You can vote in the poll in the video description to see which one of them you want to be the litter heir to have a chance of carrying on Blaze's legacy when his story comes to an end. So make sure you guys go do that. And also take a look at the quick reference spreadsheet if you want just a quick view of these wolves' stats, personality info, what we know about them, what we noticed during litter, etc., etc. But with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and end this off here for today because it is getting to be about that time again. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. But until then, this is Jay, over and out.